Barcelona moved into second place, 2 points above Girona, as they beat Atletico 3 goals to nil, courtesy of a goal and 2 assists from Robert Lewandowski. In this video, we're going to look at some interesting tactics that Xavi had and the way he beat a full-strength Atletico Madrid team with a patched-up Barcelona. Before we get into all of that, please do subscribe to the channel and do leave your comments down below. I would love to see what you guys are thinking. But let's get right into it. As always, Barcelona would look to split their centre-backs on either side of the goalkeeper, with the full-backs, pushing up higher. And it was Sergio Roberto that joined Gundogan as a pivot in that position. But Llorente and his partner actually went up to press the centre-backs if they would receive the ball in these areas. And it was De Paul and Barrios that came onto Barcelona's pivot in order to press them. And it was Morata that tried to force Barcelona to one side, and as they would press with their 5 men and try to push Barcelona to one side, which ultimately forced Barca to go long. But Xavi countered this with having Koundé drop back, and then Araujo and Ter Stegen would actually be like a back four for Barca. And Riquelme had to decide who he had to press now, Koundé or Araujo. So Barcelona had this numerical advantage over here. And Morata couldn't press alone because that would actually had the ball for Sergio Roberto in these areas, or Rafinha at multiple occasions came in and he would receive the ball from the goalkeeper. Because of this pressing structure from Atleti, Barcelona actually got away with 2 ways to get this, and this is of course by way of long balls. And it was quite surprising to see Barcelona play this way because we are obviously not used to it. We would do it 2 ways, where Robert Lewandowski would come in this way, and then Ter Stegen would find Lewandowski, but the likes of Witsel and Savic were to follow Lewandowski, but it was difficult because then Fermin and Joao Felix were the ones who would push back the back line. Or it could be the other way around, where either Lewandowski stays back and then Fermin and Joao Felix would come in, right? And I like this dynamic. You're going to see it throughout the video as well, where these guys are now pushing back the back line. Lewandowski is not dropping. If he is dropping, then the likes of Joao Felix will go into that position, which is excellent because the moment one of these guys follow, for example, Lewandowski, then Joao Felix can easily get into that position. That's why we're seeing Barcelona scoring a lot more goals now through the center as well. So good tactics from Xavi. Because Lewandowski did so good, with Ter Stegen going long to him and actually play of the good ball to the guys in the midfield, and Barcelona was pushing up higher and higher, he actually switched to a back 5, and I kind of feel like this is where the downfall of Atleti came in. Fermin came over to the left side of Atletico, and Sergio Roberto went over to the right side. And Barcelona had their 3-2-5 situation going on with CURBARSI, Koundé and Hector Ford was kind of like sifting in between gears here, right? But we of course know Felix would invert and then Hector Ford would come in. We saw a lot of runs in behind, and the reason for that was being that Rafinha is not really good in one-on-one situations, so Xavi wanted to protect him to come deep to pull these guys out of position and then receive the ball, and then they would actually go and run in behind, which was what happened often, And Barcelona's left side was kind of like dead in the beginning, early stages of the game, right? However, because of this front 3, Barcelona still had to find a way, because they defended now in a 5-2-3 situation. This is why Sergio Roberto came over to the left, because Xavi didn't want Gundogan to go back, but instead it was Sergio Roberto that became like a 4th centre back. So Barcelona was kind of operating like in a 4-2-4 situation with Fermin or Joao Felix coming back to support Ilkay Gundogan. This is phenomenal tactics from Xavi, because he now wants to overload the midfield and have numerical advantages over Atletico all over the pitch. And Barcelona caused some real trouble for him. And especially the runs of Fermin that he did in behind the defense. And often Barcelona didn't give him the ball. And this kid is really great. And I feel like he should really start every game because of his runs. even the commentators talked about it, how he every time he runs in behind, they do not find him. So this was excellent tactics from Xavi. Another slick tactic that Barcelona actually had was the one, and they couldn't deal with this for the whole game pretty much. That is when they wanted to go man to man. And because Rafinha was coming so deep, Lino had to come out. And they had this kind of like triangle on this side of the pitch for Barcelona. And we actually saw Robert Lewandowski coming into this area to receive the ball, where Joao Felix would be the one to push everything behind. And for some reason, they could not recover from this at all. Not much really changed from Barcelona within the second half, except the fact that in the second half, Cholo Simeone really started to change the systems, and he was basically confusing the hell out of his players, right? But the runnings of Barcelona intensified. They never really ran the same distance. Maybe, for example, everybody runs this way. No, if some of them run that run into the midfield, try and receive the ball, the other ones go in behind the back line. And like I said, countless runs have been made. But I think one of the biggest changes from Barcelona is the fact that CURBARSI really changed the whole game for Barcelona. We now see line-breaking passes from deep and from midfield, and especially with these runs. Let's say Robert Lewandowski come this side and somebody else runs in behind. They could now have two options: either pass to Lewandowski, or they could simply just go over the top and find the runner. Not only is that happening from deep, that's also happening from midfield, from Ilkay Gundogan, and Fermin the same. So it's really crazy that how this kid CURBARSI has changed Barcelona. And I think I'm going to do a video on that, not on him specifically, but everything that really pretty much has changed for Barcelona. And it's really these line-breaking passes that we saw from Sergio Busquets. Like I said, it's not only happening from midfield now, it's happening from deep from CURBARSI as well. And these movements from the players together with the line-breaking passes, that is really what changed things for Barcelona, especially in that Napoli game. Like you saw, there's a big emphasis really on playing through the center. I think maybe Xavi realized, like, we only have Lamine, so if we don't have him and we don't have guys going through the wings, we might as well go through the center. That's why there's a big emphasis really on playing through the lines, and CURBARSI is really helping an awful lot with this, guys. But as always, guys, please do subscribe to the channel. Let me know, what do you think about Barcelona at this point of the season? We're up into second place. Let me know down below. Thank you.